Welcome back to Jolah Talks Politics. I do a live stream every single night. Well, most nights at 10 p.m. I know people call me a liar because I don't stream on certain days and I miss my schedule, and I apologize, but I take real callers. And in this conversation, you're going to hear a real Trump supporter who is conflicted. I talked to them about this government shutdown. Are illegal aliens getting free healthcare from this new Democrat proposed budget? We go through that, and I hope you drop a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to help boost it. Become a patron down below. I'm having real conversations with real people, realer than you'll find on most places on the internet. So I want to keep on doing this. I want this message to get out there. I want these conversations to be out there because we need conversations like this to get to a better place in America. So thank you for watching.
Hello.
Hello, this is the Politics Show. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. What do you want to talk
How's
about?
it going?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, I've seen you a couple of times on YouTube. I think it's really cool. You got your own little channel and a little following here. And I don't know, I saw you here and I saw your number and I was like, hey, I started talking some trash on your chat there. So with this government shutdown, basically it's with the radical left demanding that illegal immigrants get free healthcare. Now, you mentioned earlier in your show that immigrants, if they need healthcare, they won't be taken care of, and that's not true. By law, if somebody is in need of medical care, the hospital has to take care of that patient and put them in a stable
Yeah, but that's
condition
not
before
health
they
insurance,
release them.
right? That's not health. That's not
No,
health
it's
care
not.
or health
Well, I don't have
insurance.
health insurance. I don't have health insurance. My wife doesn't have health insurance because our policies would be $900 a month with an $8,000 deductible if something happens and we have to go to the emergency room. So if you have Medicaid, if you've ever had Medicaid, they send you that card in the
Yep.
mail, and it's a gold card, and you can literally go to any hospital, anywhere, and say it's like having an American Express black card. You show up anywhere with a Medicaid card, and you'll get any coverages that you
Well, in
need
good
on
countries,
the
anybody
spot.
can get healthcare. In the good countries, they have universal healthcare, so you don't got to worry about that. But like, okay, so with
No,
the
they have it
Medicaid
with a
thing,
waiting list, and that's
uh,
not true.
America has waiting lists
That's
too,
not
very
true.
long waiting list. America has those too. Okay, so for the policy here with the immigrants, so Republicans are lying here. So I have the actual statute pulled up on my screen right now. So essentially, you can see in
Hold on,
section.
but
You don't need
we
to
were talking
look
about
at
the
it.
illegal immigrants,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
the
like the
illegal
law
immigrants
itself,
getting health care or
the
getting
law I'm
Medicaid.
reading to you, the law I'm reading to you,
Okay.
okay? They're describing who can receive this care. So, an alien lawfully admitted for permanent residence as an immigrant, as defined by sections 101A15 and 101A20 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. So, Republicans share the I guess you could just say glossary for this, but they show you the section that the alien Medicaid eligibility is located in the statute, and they post just that. So they say, hey, there is something where, you know, there's healthcare provisions here, and then you can get it with these standards, and it says aliens get healthcare. Now, the term alien for them in the legal sense means non-citizen. Now, in the actual statute, it says an alien lawfully permitted can receive it, but someone unlawfully here, and also known as illegal immigrants,
Okay.
they cannot
The
receive
topic of
it according to the
conversation. The
law.
topic of conversation here is the illegal immigrants that are staying in the Roosevelt Hotel for 60 days, free health
Wait,
care,
no, 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 no,
free
no. Okay, you
housing. No,
can't,
no,
you
no,
can't, you
no.
can't.
It
You're
all
running
falls
away.
under
You're
the
running
same
away. You're running away. You're
category. No,
running
no, no.
away from
I'm
the
not. I'm not.
conversation. You're running away
It
to a
all.
different
I'm not
conversation
running.
because you
Can
lost
I
this
let
one.
me say something?
Talk about the
Because it all
healthcare.
falls under the
We're
same
talking about the
conversation.
government
We're going.
shutdown. No, because you
We're
lost this
yeah. The
point. You're running
government
away from it.
shutdown falls
Talk.
under
No, no.
sanctuary
You need
cities,
to
the
respond to the words
Democratic
I just said, or
Party.
I'm not talking to you. Respond to the words I just said. You Trump supporters love jumping around because you can't stay on one point. Respond to the words I just said.
I'm going a little deeper, but what were the words
Not
that you
deeper.
just said?
Respond to
Remind
the
me.
words I just said.
What did you just say?
So, in the actual statute for the law, it says you can receive this care if you're an alien, which means undocumented, or if you're I'm sorry, not undocumented. That was wrong. If you're a non-citizen, okay, if you're a non-citizen lawfully admitted for permanent residence, as defined by sections 101A15 and 101A20 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. So, there's also a period for like a refugee or a lawful resident at all in America. So there's different categories of immigrant. no
Okay.
illegal immigrant can receive health care through this provision. So when Republicans say Democrats want illegal aliens, illegal immigrants to get health care, here, it's not in the law they're
Mhm.
supporting. It's a lie. I have the
Okay.
statute pulled up right now,
So
highlighted.
so 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 I you're asking me to debate. I disagree with that because number one,
My claim is
they
Republicans are
shouldn't have come
lying.
here. They shouldn't have come here
No,
illegally
okay, wait,
in
no,
the
no.
first
Respond to the
place.
words I'm saying. Respond.
Okay.
You
My
gotta stay on
parents
point in the
are
conversation.
immigrants.
I'm not. You can't
They
do this.
spent
No, no. Okay, your
three
parents are.
years
That's awesome.
fighting.
You could tell me your life
Listen,
story after this
I
conversation.
already answered your question. If you're gonna
So
be
okay, so
close-minded and
Republicans.
stuff,
Okay,
we can.
when
Okay.
Republicans say that Democrats want
Uh
illegal
huh.
aliens to get free health care, it says in the law that's not true. So Republicans are lying when they say that, right?
If somebody needs health care, if somebody's dying and they need medical
We're
attention,
talking about
no
Obamacare
hospital
subsidies.
will
We're
no
talking about Obamacare subsidies and
Obamacare
Medicaid.
subsidy.
Yeah, we're
Obamacare
not talking about
subsidy is the
emergency
reason
care.
why health care for a normal person costs a ton
Don't
of
jump around.
money,
Don't jump
and it's
around.
not
Don't jump
even
around. Don't
worth
jump
it.
around. Don't jump
I'm
around.
not jumping
We are
around.
talking about
I'm
one
not
topic,
jumping around
okay?
to anything.
Okay,
No, no,
illegal
you're
immigrant
being
health care.
close-minded
Stay
here.
on this one topic. Stay on this
You
one
gotta
topic.
wake up, man.
Republicans
No,
are lying about this
if
one
you
topic.
came
Okay,
here illegally,
people can
okay,
see you are
and
running
you're
around.
dying, we will take care of you. We will make you stable,
Okay,
whatever, and
think
you can
about
go
this.
out. But if you
Healthcare.
get a fever and you go to the hospital, you go to the emergency room because you have a fever, or you go to the urgent care and you have a Medicaid card, the urgent care is going to start billing insurance. Premiums are going to go up, and the
So
healthcare system goes through the roof
under the
because it's
law,
a
Democrats
Medicaid
are
card, and they
supporting.
bill the government.
Under the law,
That's a,
Democrats are
I
supporting.
feel like I know more than you do. Maybe
Under
I
the
should start
law,
my own
I'm just
channel.
saying on one point here because you can't answer it.
Okay.
So when it comes to illegal immigrants getting health care, Democrats
Uh-huh.
are not
Uh-huh.
supporting illegal immigrants going on Obamacare subsidies, the
They
ACA,
are.
or Medicaid.
They are.
But in the statute, I just pulled up the actual law. It says if you're a legal permanent resident, if you're legally in America, if you're legally here, you can get the health care.
If you're legal,
Illegal
uh-huh.
immigrants
Yeah, for sure.
cannot access
If
it.
you're legally here, if you're legally here and you're working and you're paying taxes and you're a low income, underprivileged, you're for whatever reason handicapped or anything, you can fill out paperwork. You can go online and you can get help from the government. A hundred
Yeah,
percent.
that's what Democrats are
Uh-huh.
supporting. Democrats
And
are supporting
okay.
that.
Now now if you have a family that crosses the border, I do not disagree with migration. Man, migration is how America was made. Everybody has a right to live a better, prosperous life. But you can't just come over, it's messed up, and like somebody once told me, hey, whose fault is it, Jonathan? Is it my fault? Or is it their
Brother,
fault for taking advantage of the system?
brother. Okay, I just
Or
want
is
to take
it
a
the
deep
system's
breath,
fault for allowing it to
a deep
be
breath.
taken
So,
advantage of?
Republicans are going
So,
on every social media platform, every media platform in general, on TV. They're saying Democrats are trying to fight for this government shutdown to give illegal aliens free health care. Now, I just talked about the law where it says that's not possible. The law Democrats support. The subsidies they want to fund go to legal residents and American citizens. So when Republicans say Democrats want to give free health care to illegal immigrants, you won't answer this question because you know you're wrong. But I want you to just be an honest person for a second and say when
okay,
Republicans
ask me
say
the
that,
question. When Republicans say what?
when they say Democrats are fighting to give free healthcare to illegal aliens in this conversation, the law itself says that's not possible, only for legal residents and for citizens. Is this going to apply? So when Republicans say Democrats want to give healthcare to illegal immigrants, the law Democrats support does not do that. So why would Republicans say that if the Democrats are not supporting giving free healthcare to illegal immigrants?
Because the states, this is the United States of America. The United States, all the states combined give the federal government the power. The federal government gives funding to the states, and the states are giving the sanctuary states, some states, California, Illinois, New York, they're using their federal funding to do what the states want to do. The states have a lot of power.
Okay,
That's
so
why
the
Florida
states.
does what it does,
Okay,
Texas
so you're
what
talking
it
about the
does, what it does.
states.
And now, if you think about
Okay.
it, New York's the financial district of the world. Man, they've taken over New York, they've
Okay,
taken
but
over
for the
Chicago, they've
federal,
taken
okay,
over
so
California.
the Democrats right now in Congress are not from New York. They're not from these individual states. For the
They are.
federal
Chuck
law,
Schumer's from New York. Chuck Schumer
Okay,
and
that's not.
Hakeem
He's not in
Jeffries,
the.
they're
He's not
both
in the
from New
York.
York.
He doesn't do New York State government. He doesn't
What do
vote
you
in New
mean?
York laws. He's not in the New York
They're
State
they're
government. He's a United States senator. He's not a New York senator. So he votes on
but
American
he's
laws
from.
for
They're
the
both
federal
they're
government.
both from New York. They're both from there.
That does not matter
They're
at all in
both
this
from there.
conversation. It does not matter at all in this
Okay, but they're
conversation.
both from there. Okay,
And why are you saying that?
because you're saying they're not from New York, and then we started talking about, New York is a huge part of this country. It's a financial district of the world.
Hey,
It's the
hey,
New York
hey,
Stock
hey.
Exchange,
Okay.
Nasdaq,
Hey,
all that
hey,
stuff.
hey,
And
hey,
it's
hey. At the
become. Look at.
federal, hey, don't run away. Okay, at the federal
No,
government
I'm not.
level,
But we're
when
talking about New
Democrats for
York,
the okay for
Chicago,
the okay,
California.
buddy, please, you're purposely being slimy. Come on. For the federal government in D.C., for the Democrats in the federal government with the government shutdown, the law they want to be providing subsidies for only applies for legal residents and American citizens. Now, you can argue that certain states use their budgets to provide health care for some undocumented people. That happens at the state level. But when Republicans say they want to fund free health care for all illegal aliens in America, to spend $1.5 trillion or whatever on illegal aliens getting health care, at the federal level, that's just simply not true in the law. It's completely made up.
I mean, we can go in circles about this, but the fact of the matter is the government is shut down because illegal immigrants are getting health care. They're staying in, I mean, do you know that the Teddy Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan has been at a full occupancy, double the rate? So the last, while Biden was in for 4 or 5 years
Okay, I'm
until
sorry,
recent.
bro. One more time.
So
One more time. The
it
Obamacare
all,
subsidies. Okay, no, you just said it again. You just like it's so sad we can't have conversations anymore because of people like you. But like the Obamacare
uh,
subsidies. Okay,
I
The
answered
Obama.
your question
No, no, you
already.
just said
No,
again. You just said again. The government's shut down because illegals are getting health care, which is which we just talked about in the law. That's not true. Like in the actual law itself, you can read the law yourself. It's not true.
what's the abbreviation? What does CR stand for? Contingency report that they could have signed and kept the government running. They didn't sign it
In the actual
because
law, no, in the actual law, we know for a fact the
okay.
government's not shut down
I
over
guess we
illegal
want to take
aliens getting health
somebody
care.
else's call because healthcare is not getting us anywhere, and I guess
No,
we
the
can
thing
take
is,
somebody else's
here's the
call.
big thing though. Liberals often want to have conversations with conservatives, so we never get to actually hit the point we want to talk about because you run all over the place. You're going to talk about New York City and the border and Roosevelt Hotel and all these different things. And I'm trying to just get you to understand the literal wording of the law in front of me says something very explicit about where this healthcare goes to. But you can't even read this law or say that, okay, well, Democrats, the subsidies are pushing for right now are not for illegal immigrants whatsoever. This is for American citizens and legal residents. But you can't say that. You have to keep on being slimy and going around it. And this is really difficult. I don't want to talk to someone else. I want you to just be an honest person.
It's
But like,
it's the then from what I if you're telling me that the government is shut down and it's not shut down because illegal immigrants are getting health care, then I'm misinformed.
yeah, Republicans are lying about
Illegal
it.
if you're here in the United States illegally, okay, and you are gaining from federal tax dollars or anything federally funded, healthcare, food stamps, housing, cash benefits, and you're collecting on any of that stuff and you're not working and paying taxes and contributing, that is not right. Doesn't matter how you lay it out.
Wait.
Healthcare,
Again, we're
whatever
not
it
talking
is.
about that at all. We're just talking about like this
No, but
law
that's
for the
exactly what we're
shutdown.
talking about. We're talking about healthcare. We're talking about healthcare and illegals getting healthcare. I mean, we keep going back to the same
We were
thing, and
talking
I
about the
feel like I
government.
feel like I'm in a
We were talking
Groundhog
about
Day
the
here.
no. We were talking about the government shutdown. Why is the government shut down? Republicans say because Democrats want to give illegal aliens free health care, and I said that's not true.
Um, then from what you're telling me, something different than what I've heard.
Well, you don't need to hear it because Republicans lie about it through their mouth, but the lie from the mouth
Everybody lies out
cannot
of their
be.
mouth.
Yeah, that's true. So we can find the truth in the actual law Democrats are supporting. The law, as written, does not apply for illegal aliens or illegal immigrants. It only applies for permanent residents, U.S. citizens, or someone here illegally. And that's the whole thing I'm trying to get across. And we need to be able to just like Republicans have said this so much over the past few days, and they're conflating it with other issues. But Democrats are not shutting down the government to fund illegal alien healthcare. These are subsidies for the ACA. These subsidies help Americans buy healthcare and legal residents of American legal residents of America buy healthcare. Illegal aliens are not benefiting at all from these Obamacare subsidies being increased. But um, yeah, the other discussion they had was on and this is separate, but on JD Vance brought up if you go to the emergency room, if you have someone here illegally and they go to the ER and their leg's broken, do you think we should be helping that person?
100%.
Okay.
A
It
hundred
seems like the
percent.
Trump
You should help
admin.
that
Okay.
person.
Okay.
You know,
I agree.
I agree. Now, I have been to the ER, and there's, you see people in there whether you wonder they're sick or not. That's not up for you to decide. Um, but if you put into somebody's head, hey, if you go to the doctor, you have to pay out of pocket. They're gonna think twice before going. If Think about it. If you have a common cold, oh, I'm sick or this, my parents, perfect example. Senior citizens, they have Medicaid, they're old, they're retired. My God, going to the doctor's part of their life. It's a routine. And they go to the doctor and bills the Medicaid and bills the Medicaid. And it's the same thing with the illegals. If you want to talk about something else, we can. I don't know.
Do you
But this is
support
pretty
ICE
cool, man.
agents?
I got on a YouTube live with you.
No, I appreciate the conversation, and I think the conversations need to be intense but still respectful. So I do appreciate the call. My last question for you: how do you feel about ICE agents grabbing random brown people because they think they look like illegals, detaining them for days or hours or whatever, and wearing face coverings and refusing to identify themselves? Do you have any issues with what ICE is doing right now?
Yeah, I do. I do, and I don't. I would like to believe that the ICE agents really are only gathering the criminals. Um, I have a flower business,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So uh, a lot of people that I work with are immigrants. They're illegals also. My business has been affected by this, been affected by tariffs, been affected by a lot of stuff. Um, and going back to your question, I talked to my wife about it, and I feel like a lot of people came here looking for a better life, and they're already here. The border's closed. They're already here. Instead of sending them back, give people a chance to, I don't know, expedite paperwork, and the ones that are really here with a clean record, and a family and have been here for years, give them a chance to get on board and to get with the program and to catch up with the times. They mentioned also in the presidential election that there were almost 400,000 kids that went missing crossing the border. Haven't heard anything on the news about them looking for those kids. As far as the
Yeah,
ICE agents covering their faces, they're getting threatened. They have families. I agree with them covering their faces. I do. You
I think
know,
it's very
as a safety
un-American and,
precaution.
and anti-freedom to do that. But like with the numbers of kids missing, that was a lie. So they can't find the kids because they weren't never really fully missing. There's a weird thing with like checkpoints and checking on updating people at certain. It's complicated, but like with masking, there's never been a police force in American history that had masks on. Even back when we had the KKK and the Civil Rights Movement and Rodney King and the riots of the early 1900s and 1800s, we never had a secret police force in America where we couldn't have their identification or their faces or anything. Trump posts the pictures of judges and their
Wow,
kids
you're
if he
right,
doesn't like
man.
them.
That's part of. Isn't that part of public service or something? Like they're supposed to identify themselves to us.
It's about
I just
safety.
realized that now with you mentioning that, with all the videos you see online, when you get pulled over by a police officer, I don't answer questions. What's your name and badge number? They're
Now
supposed to answer.
imagine, and with these federal agents, if ICE came to your door right now, and this is what they're doing, they could legally blow up your front door with explosives. They could detain you and your family with no actual cause. They operate under reasonable suspicion. They need no warrant. They can detain you to run your
They
record
do their
now.
homework though. Yeah, I'm
No, they
sure they
don't.
do
I
their homework.
promise you. I promise you. There's a lawsuit right now for
No, man,
Alabama, for
come on. They
example.
got to do their
This
homework
guy,
before they invest that manpower into that stuff.
I
Look,
promise
I
you, they're
saw a
not
video
doing
the
it.
other day where they
I
pulled.
promise you, there's a video from Chicago today. Watch my content more often, please, because I swear to God, that there are
You're
things
talking about
happening
the
right now that
landscaping
are
guy with his
crazy.
two sons.
Well, there's one guy from Alabama who's a U.S. citizen who was detained twice by ICE, and they just said his ID was fake both times, and he got beat up by them for no reason. And we have reports of like Alligator Alcatraz, half the people there having no violent record whatsoever, just being here on like visa overstays, for example. And also ICE right now, they're lined up with face masking on outside of immigration court hearings. So people are going doing the right thing. They're going to their court hearings, and they have 25 ICE goons trying to intimidate them. And I'm like, why would you try to scare people from doing the proper channel to do the legal way, to try and
No,
find
but
a
the
legal remedy?
Antifa people or the people out there protesting with the masks and gas masks. Hey, this is some crazy times that we're going through. You know, these live streams, social media, the internet.
No, but like, do you want
Paris is
cops
on
to be able
fire.
to detain
London.
you? But the thing is, do you want federal agents to have the right to detain you, to not identify themselves, to just say, "Come with us," and you have no choice at all but to comply with them? You don't know who it is. It could be anybody dressing up as an agent, if they don't communicate. That's my big worry as well. And they're detaining a
I
bunch of American
agree with
citizens.
law and order. I agree with law and order.
But that's not
Okay,
law and order. If they're doing illegal
it makes
things,
me, you know,
we need transparency from law enforcement, though.
if my neighborhood, I live in Florida, I live in Miami. If my neighborhood in Miami was anything like what Los Angeles was like, or Chicago, or New York with the protests and the rioting, man, I would freak out. I would not want my 12-year-old daughter going out, my 10-year-old son going out. I would not go out to dinner with my wife. I told you I had a flower company. I have customers all over this country. I
Hey,
have one
before
in
I get off here,
Chicago.
though, before I get off, all I'm saying is I'm there could be riots, there could be issues, there could be people crossing the border illegally, there could be robbers and murderers and all that stuff. But I'm way more afraid that the government can just take me into custody legally and do whatever they want with my body.
They will not
That's my
take
main
you into
concern.
custody. They're not going to take you into custody illegally. Think about
I
it.
will
If you
now.
do the
This is
numbers,
the big.
20 something million people crossed the border while Biden was in office.
Those are
If
fake
you do
numbers.
the numbers as what, yeah, they're fake numbers, whatever. If you do what they're averaging deporting uh, daily, they could only deport like 2 million people.
In Chicago,
They're
there was
never
something that
gonna deport
happened. So I just
everybody.
did a video on this on my TikTok. Okay, if you want to, everyone check out my TikTok, Jolah Politics. In Chicago, we have a record of how many U.S. citizens they are detaining. There's operations where they will detain 100 U.S. citizens for every 5 immigrants they find. They are grabbing anyone they can, and they have a policy with ICE where if you're brown, if you have an accent, they are allowed to grab you. That's enough suspicion for them to grab you and put you in a detainment facility if they want to run your data. And that's really scary, in my opinion. They could just say, come with me. No letter, no notice ahead of time. We should not have secret police in America. They should have their faces out. That's part of the job. FBI has their faces out. DEA has their faces out. The only people who don't have their faces out are doing special operations for these departments going after cartels. But there's people walking
I'll
around
go
the
back.
rich parts of Chicago and the rich parts of DC and the rich parts of these areas going after college kids who say something the government doesn't like. They should not
I'll go
be
back
having
to what I
masking
was
on.
saying. I'll go back to what I said before. You know, the illegals are already here. We have to deal with it. The border should be closed. Throughout those 4 years of everyone crossing the border, there were a lot of military aged people crossing the border. A lot of Asians, a lot of South Americans, a lot of people crossing the border unknowingly.
I
Okay,
agree. A
those
lot of people came
people,
over. I have to
one
go to another
rotten
call.
apple
I'm not
spoils a
gonna.
whole one apple spoils a whole
I
bunch.
disagree with
And
that
that's
wholeheartedly
why the
because
families that are here, you know, trying to achieve the American dream,
it
they're
doesn't
living
spoil the
in
whole
fear
bunch,
now.
though. There's gonna be bad apples. I could
It
find
does, man.
Christian pedophiles. I could find murderers from any church. I could find people from Republicans, liberals. I could find anyone from any bunch that can be bad, and they're not gonna spoil everybody. Immigrants have a lower crime rate than American citizens. Um, and there's a reason why. But like my big thing again is just you can say these are issues, but the solution does not need to be secret police who are not accountable to any laws or standards. Law enforcement, police officers, we have rights for a reason. They read us our rights. They have a way that they handle us, the civilian population. If these federal agent thugs can go into any place in America that the president says, I don't want that for a Democrat to be able to do that either.
And that's the
To
federal
do whatever.
government's job is to keep us
No, but
safe.
that's the thing though. The ICE wearing
That's
masks
their
is
job.
brand new in American history. That's brand new. That usually having law enforcement working with your civilian population with your face covered, that's reserved to Russia or China. That's
You
never
will
been an
not
American
find a
thing.
single taxpayer that's against law and order. You won't
But
find
I'm
a
saying that
taxpayer
you
that's
don't need to
against
have
law
a
and order.
secret. You don't need to have a secret, unaccountable federal police force that has no boundaries and no process for warrants or any regard for anything. Regard for personal safety. They in Chicago they ripped naked
I
children
can
out of their
agree to
apartments.
disagree with you.
In Chicago, they ripped naked children out of their apartments and put them in zip ties. American citizens because they don't do their homework beforehand. And Americans, I guarantee you, they're on my side of this issue. People don't love seeing these armored trucks and unidentified federal agents in
No,
town. The reason law enforcement
I think
works with
parents being
communities, it makes
separated
everybody
from their
safer.
children for breaking the law sucks. I've been
Hey,
separated from
okay,
my
one more time,
child for breaking the
one
law.
more time. I'm sorry, one more time. Okay, so American citizen children, their parents broke no laws. ICE just claimed there were immigrants there. These children were ripped out at 10 p.m. at night, naked, from their homes, zip tied to other children and put in the back of a U-Haul. American citizens, they did no crimes. Their parents did no crimes. Their only crime was being in the vicinity of ICE. They were in the general area of ICE. And anybody around ICE who's black or brown is a suspect to them. They are American citizens who did
Okay.
nothing wrong. That's my big thing here. You did, yeah.
Then, like they say, we're in America, and you can sue a ham sandwich. Those people won't have to work another day in their lives. So they'll sue the
Hey,
government
do you know what
for
the issue is? Do you know
wrongful,
what the issue is?
and it's true.
Hey, do you know what the problem
What?
is? We don't
Old
know
lady
who the
from
hell these
McDonald's that
people
started it
are.
all.
We don't know who they are because they have masks on and they don't have
There's a lot of
any
issues,
identification.
man.
They don't have badges or masks. How do they know who even did it? That's the
There's
whole.
a lot of issues, and Trump
Hey,
is
you just
pinning
made
the
my whole
fact on this
argument. They can
federal
sue the
government.
government. Who did it? We don't know. They don't. They have full covering on that. We don't
Who,
have
what?
any badges. We don't know who did it. How can they sue someone they don't know who it is? It's a secret police for a reason. We
Come
don't know
on,
who the
they
hell did
know.
it.
Obviously, they were arrested, and there's paperwork. They know who did it.
There's no paperwork.
When
That's the
you're
issue.
when
There's
you're
no paperwork. Hey, buddy.
when they
I'm
arrest
sorry.
you, they
There
give you
is no
paperwork.
paperwork. They did not give paperwork. You
Okay.
just okay. I'm sorry. You're just not informed here. They're not giving paper. That's why
No,
we are
I'm
so up
not.
in arms here.
Obviously,
They're
I
not
just
giving warrants. They're
I
not
have
giving
more
paperwork. They're
experience
not
than you
giving
do.
warning. They're not doing that. All the stuff you're saying right now about suing, that does not exist because of the issue of the secret policing. That's why I have a big issue here. But hey, we're not going to get there on this conversation. I do appreciate the call. I
So
do
do I,
appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for calling me. Okay.
I hope you have a really nice night, man.
But you too, man. Take it easy.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You too. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you. Okay, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. How do you guys feel that went? Because that was an interesting conversation. Because they do this a lot, and Charlie Kirk debated like this. I noticed that where he would start with a point. If there was a conversation that Charlie Kirk was losing a point, he would move to 50 different conversations. So like if it comes to like the Trump admin deporting a citizen, or the Trump admin deporting a visa holder for saying Israel's bad, for example, for saying a foreign country's bad, and Trump deporting them, and if Charlie Kirk could not defend that because that's anti-freedom of speech, on behalf of a foreign country, he would just like go to a different topic that's completely unrelated. So like I'm trying to catch people when they go to another topic because they'll do this whole thing where it's like, well, what about asylum laws? And I'm like, well, asylum laws are for people who are coming here. But yeah, but like, what if they're misusing it? It's like, well, if they're misusing it, we get. But what about the Roosevelt Hotel? What about the hotel in New York? It's like, well, the New York hotel. It's like, what about the Haitian immigrants? Well, the Haitian immigrants, that was all. Well, what about Lake and Riley? It's like, well, Lake and Riley. It's like, what about the Chicago? What about the Colorado apartment buildings? It's like, okay, with the and then they keep bouncing all over the place. So if there is one point where you can really nail them on something, they run away from it with different points right after that. So that guy did that a few times. I don't know how purposeful it was, but like, I have the law pulled up on the screen, right? I have the law on the screen in front of me. I have the law right here, not shown on the shorts right now, but here's the law I've had pulled up. And I'm reading right from the law itself. And people are calling me a liar in chat. And I see your comments. I do see your comments. And that guy would not trust me. And he's like, well, people lie all the time. And I'm like, yeah, they do lie on media, which is why you can go to the source of the law to see that illegal immigrants are not going to get these subsidies. Oh, boy. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Please donate to the channel to help my pain.